Uh, Hello everyone, respected chairperson, delegates, and dear audience. My name is Chandana Rajbanshi, and today I am going to present my paper entitled Vegetarian and Fasting Diet as the Mantras of Good Health, a study of Sri Thakur Anupal Chandra. So, let me give you a brief outline of that I am going to present today. So, without further ado, let me introduce what are the fundamental topic. So health is all about when we it comes to our mind. Health, it reminds me our WHO's definition. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. But if you look at the Sustainable Development Goal, which is the goal number 3, good health and well-being, so there is a mention of so many plan that promotes how to reduce. They try to focus more on the death and disease, how to reduce these things, and increase the medicines and vaccines to stop disease. But is it possible any way? Because if we cannot control how we do not know how to maintain a good health, then only vaccines and medicines cannot bring any solutions. So we all talk about health is wealth, jaisa and vaisa man, but we not really promote, not really know the exact meaning of it. So my paper is proposing that for the good health we have to follow a different kind of diet practices. For example, vegetarian diet, fasting diet, and Havishana diet. My PPT is visible to all of you, right? Hello.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. So now the question is, what is the problem then? So the problem is, the politics of representation, how it is represented. For example, the food politics, the in modern trend, it is in modern trend we all know that we often seek for fast food, junk food, street food, 1 minute food because of our time management. So we focus, we do not understand the capitalist politics, how it is for the capital production, consumption, and distribution of the food, where they only focus on the market value, commercial value, not the intrinsic value to maintain a good health, to promote a good health. Rather, assumptions, the proposition is that the fasting diet or the vegetarian diet is something very traditional, is outdated, it's superstitious, sometimes it's backward, it's only limited to religious, it's something non-scientific food culture. But and also SDG goal number 3 also didn't mention the importance of diet, the to promote a good health. So my hypothesis is there any relation between diet and health, or not at all, or how diet impacts health? So the present statistical data that will shock you truly. In 2007, the World Cancer Research Fund and American Institute of Cancer Research that found that there is a convincing evidence of link between red meat consumption and cancer. Another study also in 2011, Chan et al. Claims the same thing, that the risk of developing cancer increased 14% because due to the red consumption. So after this so let me I was trying to go deep into it, the problem, trying to understand the problems of the modern era. So I did a little bit of literature review for that. So how to bridge the connection, how diet impacts our health, and the connection between diet, disease, and death and other chronic disease. So here in the first slide, first article, you can see the diet, how it is impacting it is the causes of cardiovascular disease and mortality. It increases mortality rate in 14 countries. And another studies also, the next slide you can see, next article, animal protein as the main cause of heart disease. In the third, that Cambridge University claims that fruits and vegetables in the prevention of cancer and cardiovascular disease. On the other hand, choice of laboratory animal diet influences intestinal death. So these, and also that Oxford University praised their journal, alternate day fasting and chronic disease that prevents various diseases. So from this literature review, I understand one thing, that there is a difference between vegetarian diet and non-vegetarian diet, or plant and animal based diet, that how it increases. So from this literature review helps me to ask these kind of questions. What is the connection then between the diet and disease? How does food consumption impact human health? On the other hand, as I'm doing a literary interpretation, so I took Sister Thakur's book. So, what are the benefits of vegetarian and fasting diets for fostering good health, and as articulated by Sri Thakur? How does Sri Thakur's ideology contribute to the broader discourse of food, health, Hindu studies, and sustainability and environmental ethics? These are the questions helps me to argue that after this literature review and these questions help me to argue that the vegetarian fasting diet, it promotes good health. On the other hand, it also reduces chronic disease. Similarly, to understand it better, we do comparison, right? So in comparison to the non-vegetarian or animal diet, that increases more, the risk rate is high, that increases various kinds of chronic disease, intestinal, cardiovascular, heart attack, cardiac attack, and the cancers also. So we all know what is vegetarianism and fasting and Havishanna, which is a form of fasting diets. So I'm not going into this detail, it will take a lot of time. So for this interpretation, I have used two theoretical framework, that is ethical vegetarianism, which considers moral ethical aspects and promotes animal rights, because animal rights and animal ethics and justice, because they consider animal is also a very sentient being. And the theoreticians I used Jeremy Bentham, Peter Singer, and Tom Reckon. On the other hand, I am going to use Charaka's theory of Satma theory, which is an Ayurvedic concept that means wholeness, suitability, and compatibility in relation to diet, lifestyle, climate, habits. He argues that health depends on consuming substances compatible with one's body constitution and habits. So he says that health depends on what you are consuming. For the theoretical methodology, I use qualitative research and textual analysis.
Ma'am, you have one. Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. You have 1
Okay.
minute. Kindly.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up within a minute. So I'm using Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, which is a contemporary spiritual leader, and he has a tremendous contribution in various disciplines like health, dharma, religion, sustainability, education, marriage, and a lot of the aspects. So his text, Sasto Shadachar Sutra, which is aphorism on health and hygienic. So here he also says the same thing, that if you take a vegetarian and fasting diet, it promotes existential growth and prosperity, and it reduces chemicals and toxins and chronic disease. On the other hand, animal diet that decreases longevity and reduces fertility and reproductive ability. So there are my findings. Diet and health, there is a connection, and diet's repercussion on health and contemporary convergences and existing health studies. It also adding more knowledge to the existing discourse of Hindu sustainability and food and health studies. It also I find that interdisciplinary approach, because it's not limited to the spiritual and religious aspects, but rather medical and ethical context is also applicable. So here are my contribution of this paper. It contributes new insight to the food and health studies as in the present era by including Sister Thakur's ideology on diet. It demands for a holistic, integrative, and inclusive approach to the health and food and spiritual diet. Advocates for acknowledging our spiritual medical knowledge and diet practices. and calls for spiritual health and veg diet plan in the future WHO and SDG goals plan. It opens for a new door for spiritual, medical, and therapeutic practices in the Vocabani world. So here are my bibliography. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to call Siddhi Upadhyay and Madhulika Dwivedi to present the paper titled Anna Seva as a community-based food security model, psychological implications and alignment with SDG 2 at Annapurna Mata Mandir, Anakshetra.